I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
And I'm Jay Washington.
And we're here to review Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 12, Book of Secrets, Chapter 2, Just and Unjust. And if you haven't seen this episode, you might want to come back later because there will be spoilers. Jennifer becomes a hero to her school and then makes a promise to Khalil. Jay Washington, welcome back from New York City.
Thank you. I'm mad I couldn't get back here in time to do episode 11 with you because I heard about all the emotions you had.
I had so many emotions. I cried.
Yeah, I know, because
so...
a certain friend of ours called me. It was like, Ashley was just like, oh.
That's what I did. I was like, I don't know what Jay and I would do except be like,
No, I'm happy to be back. It's good to be back. The show's been great, and watching that. New York was fun. Shouts out to everybody who was in New York and everybody who's gonna see what happened in New York.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been interesting because the last time we were together, we saw Khalil get his back snatched out.
Yeah.
And then I missed watching Khalil die, which, by the way, Jordan. So if y'all saw my Instagram, you saw I was with Jordan Calloway the episode. You could have told me, bruh. Like, we were talking, we were kicking it, everything. You could have been like, hey, man, here's a warning. But then to watch this one to know that it's real. Because both of us were wondering, would this be real? Like, would the death would it stay?
And then they tease us right at the gate. Anissa gets shot in the first scene. So we're like, everyone's dead now. Oh, boy. What's the show going to be after this?
But I think that's a good thing you do because it almost gives you that Game of Thrones feel where you never get attached, for lack of better words. But you know you need these main characters, so you don't know how things will play out and go further.
Yeah.
So to see that and then to see Agent Odell, shouts out to Bill Duke returning.
Finally!
But it you know what the good thing about it is? He returned at the right point. It wasn't just using him to be using him.
Oh, there's great pacing, and we do get a return of a lot of the guest stars.
Yes.
And, we're right about in the last leg of the season.
Yeah, because they got 16 episodes, so this is 12, so it's 4 more to go.
So, everyone who they paid and got great press releases for, it's about time to see those storylines coming to fruition.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way TV works, guys. It's not a shot across the bow. This episode, as you probably imagine, deals a lot with Jennifer's grieving process. I really enjoyed the fact that we just called it out and we actually dealt with it in preparation for Khalil's funeral. And she says, how can I be in so much pain and not bleed? And then we get Anissa having a really nice older sister moment where she tells her that pain doesn't make you weak, pain makes you stronger. Jay, as a certified supervillain, how do you feel about that?
As a supervillain that's in pain right now with his foot. No, but it's the truth. And I really took heart to that. Pain doesn't make you weak, it makes you stronger. Pain makes you appreciate what you go through. Yeah, what you have and what you go through. And I always attribute this to the writers and the people in the writers' room for Black Lightning. They put good lessons in the episode. This is we always have said this, it's a family drama with superpowers.
Yep. And
so there are a lot of life lessons. You have to learn about losing someone and not just losing them as a breakup, as in death.
Yeah.
It's a part of life, especially in urban youth, which this centers around. So to have that moment with Jen and Anissa is great, but then to watch Jen tell her daddy, look, give me a suit.
I love it. Especially because the suit was dropped last year at this point. Like, we've seen the suit for a little while, so it's exciting to see the idea drop that we're finally going to get a chance to see it out in the field, hopefully, before
Did you want to see it?
Yeah.
Did you want to see it first, or did you want to wait till it came in the episode?
No, I would have rather seen it revealed in the episode.
I
would have rather
I'm one of those people, I get why you do it.
Sure, and it looks cool. And
it looks dope.
We shared it, and you shared it.
I sure did.
You got a nice little exclusive share on that.
So I got it, but it was just sometimes I want that surprise to hit. But to see that and to watch everything, the whole situation with her, with Jen and Lowry, now she's back in school.
I love every time we get Social Justice Corner on Black Lightning. We had the hilarious white lady calling the cops on Jen last episode.
Oh my God.
And we have a much less hilarious white principal taking her. I forgot about Lowry almost entirely. And to be reminded of him, and kudos to the actor. I'm sorry, don't have your name open. He's killing it. But that scene was so relevant and so of the time. I thought it was really wonderful.
I don't trust the student that had the blonde swoop in his hair.
Why not?
I just don't trust that hair.
Because that actor, that extra was acting too hard.
You were too hard with that hair. And then there's another part we both discussed where all the students had up their right fist, like you supposed to.
Yeah.
And somebody had a left. And Ashley was like, who's in charge of the extras?
Yeah, who is background management?
But, seriously, though, the guy that's playing Lowry, he is doing great.
Yep.
Pardon me, but it's great the way the dynamic is, and you're learning more about him.
Mm-hmm.
And he even has these discussions with Jefferson over things that's going on. And so to see all this and to see the payoff, because I didn't think we were going to get much of Garfield anymore.
I agree. It was nice to finally have Jen go back because that's something that she's been wanting for so long. So to rub her of Khalil and give her back her community. Didn't see Keisha. Maybe she was off shooting that one scene she was in Green Book at this time. But it was nice to see Jen.
Keisha was like, I don't want to be here no more.
No. She was nice to see her getting her community back as well. Anissa also has a really strong storyline where she's helping Monique, who is the girlfriend of, what was his name? Rayvon. Trayvon, Grayvon, Mayvon.
There's always Vaughn.
Drayvon. There's always something Vaughn, which I don't know if that's intentional, but it made me laugh when they said his name.
It's one of those, look, it's like, it's on the board in the writer's room, like, these are all the random boyfriend names we're going to use.
Yeah.
All of them in Vaughn.
Shout out to Anissa's makeup and hair. Her wig looked awesome in this episode. I loved it. Jay did not appreciate my appreciation of Anissa's baby hair. Because
she was like, as we watched it, Ashley was like, her baby hair was right. Yes. Her makeup was on point. I was like, word? It was just, it came out of nowhere. Yeah. But at first I thought this episode a filler.
Because which would have made sense and they would have earned given last episode.
It would have earned it. But it isn't a filler. It's a build-up because we're almost home. Mm-hmm. So it's like, here we go. Now we got to get this. Because what this season has done is it gives you a story that starts, that book ends.
Yep.
Then it starts and it ends. We now have ended after the death of Khalil, and we're starting a new one. Mm-hmm. So it isn't a filler. Because, again, after we deal with the hospital scene, we see Blackbird, as they're calling her now.
Love it. Great. Why not? Who cares?
She does another run-in on drug dealers.
Yeah.
And you forget that Thunder is super strong, and she can pick a grown man up by the throat.
It is truly the future liberals want, where she's beating the ever-loving shit out of a bunch of guys with a pipe. I was like, thank you.
Shouts out to that hallway fight scene.
Looked great. The fights always look awesome in this show.
The choreography, the stunt choreography. I got a chance to meet the stunt team. I don't know if I told you out there.
Tell us about it.
When I did the set visit in October, some of the stunt team were there, and they put an amazing choreography together. They work their asses off for that, and it always shows. Mm-hmm. This isn't one of those, hey, we'll just shoot this real quick and we'll be done. This is, no, let's get this right.
Yeah.
And so it's appreciative, and it shows in every episode.
And then Anissa's storyline also butts up against Grace, and we're finally getting some more Grace reveals. One of the coolest things about this episode is we learn Grace works at a comic book shop. Yay! I also did that for a long time. And she has a Black Lightning and the Thunder comic. That was so cool. There's no Thunder comics. There should be one.
And I think that was the dopest thing. I think shout out to Nafisa Williams, because I'm not even gonna get this to Anissa Pierce. I think Nafisa was more so like, this is so dope. That wasn't just Anissa. That was Nafisa.
I hope they gave it to her.
Oh, I believe they gave Nafisa that copy, because there's a bunch of Black Lightning comics around, and whether it's an actual story on the inside or not, but to have that is a souvenir for something great that you're doing. And also to see Grace's power start to manifest, and how Anissa didn't pick up like, yo, did your eyes just change? Yeah. Like, she was just cool with it. I'm like, what? How are you?
And I also loved when you could see it affecting her arms, like that. And I loved her line where she says to her in the park later, after the really cute little double dutch scene, that she can't control herself around Anissa. Like, that's very interesting, and for that character, that's a very loaded statement.
Well, the fact that Grace's character suffers from ADHD, and that's a part of her abilities. But, you hear this is like, I can't control myself either.
Yeah.
I was like, there's children in this park. Y'all can't be doing all this freaky stuff on the swing.
They don't know. They're children. They gotta learn sometimes. Jay, you said something about this when we were watching it, so I wanted to bring it up. How do you feel about Markovia?
it's dope because we're bringing in the entire larger DC universe now. You know, you'll hear about these individual cities. Of course, you'll always hear about a Gotham somewhere. You'll hear about a Metropolis somewhere, maybe even a Central or Star City. But Markovia plays a big part in a lot of these storylines where it comes to bad guys. Markovia is the real life Russia almost, something like that.
Yeah.
So to hear Markovia constantly being brought up and it playing a major angle into the whole MOD, the Massive Disaster, which is an element from the comics.
They are the classic sort of anti-outsiders.
Yes.
And if you guys are watching Young Justice Outsiders, this isn't a spoiler because it's sort of wrapped up for their weird mid-season break, but Markovia is huge over there as well.
Yes, it is.
So because we're sort of embracing the outsiders-ness of it all in 2 shows, it is kind of fascinating to watch.
The live action and the animated.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's interesting now to see we're not just having one team being built.
Yep.
We're having 2 teams being built. You know, Tobias and his MOD.
When is Black Nightcrawler coming back?
Yeah, I think that's going to be
Lamont,
dope.
when?
Also, can we give the show props on being renewed for season 3?
Congratulations. We had no doubt.
We had no doubt.
Not the show we were doubting.
There's another show that we were like, what? but I think he may appear now more towards the season finale and heading into 3.
Yeah.
Because he showed up, and I think he didn't show up just to show up.
I hope not. I love a teleporting character.
I love a black teleporter. Like, yo, this is all black people been wanting to do.
And we ended with Khalil's funeral, and you talked a little earlier about how this episode is all themes of bookends. We start with Jennifer making the proclamation to her father that she's going to take down Tobias, and we end with her making the proclamation to her boyfriend that she's going to take down Tobias.
I'm going to take down Tobias Whale. Not even Tobias. I'm going to take down Tobias Whale.
I hope Jennifer kills him. I think it would be so awesome.
I love the scene when they were all in the car.
Yeah.
And Jennifer said, I don't want to get out.
Yeah.
Because if I do, then it makes it real. And that's a real feeling of grief people go through during funerals. So to bring the realism again into it, to have that takes a lot to be conveyed by all the actors that you see. That takes a lot to be conveyed through pieces of paper, through the writers, through the direction, all these different elements, even the cinematographer. And that's a great thing that they put together. All
right, Chocolate Thunder, on a scale of 1 to 5 lightning bolts, what did you think of this episode? You have impossibly long titles. I can't say it again.
I thought I was nervous at first, like I said. I thought it was going to be just a filler episode. But it didn't. I had to remember what this show's been doing and how it's done it. And it's kept on that thing where it's like, all right, we're rolling into this finale. 5 out of 5.
I mean, is there any doubt? 5 out of 5. It was basically perfect in every way. I also, as someone who has gone through the process of grief, it's wild when you can see it portrayed accurately on television because it is so often portrayed badly. So, like, big ups for pulling that off for an entire episode. All right, Jay, let everybody know where they can go and find us crying online and where they can support you.
You can go find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington. MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. I tell you that a million times. JAY Washington 80 on YouTube.
And we always put Jay's YouTube channel description in the show notes of this episode. And while you're down there, don't forget to click the subscribe button and that little bell so you know as soon as one of our amazing reviews come out, and go support us at patreon.com/Jawiin. Come join us in the Hall of Justice. Be a super friend. And check out Crisis Club, which we launched this week.
That sounds so dope.